To all you atheists out there that deny God, I'm going to remind you a few things. Where we get our word atheist is from the negative a in the Greek language, which means no, and also from the Greek language theist, which means God. So the title means no God. So if you're an atheist, you're claiming that there is no God. But if you're an agnostic, that means you don't know if there actually is or is not a God. Now, if you're an atheist trying to redefine atheism, I'm going to tell you again. You go back to the Greek word from which I just gave and see if you find any of that meaning in there. Because I don't play, oh, I'm going to redefine it to suit myself. I don't play that game. I deal with it enough already from an atheist defining to whatever they want to define to fit their own views. Atheist plainly means no God. So now that we got that clear, God is truth. Even Jesus says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. God is truth. Now, if you're going to argue against that, and you don't accept God as truth, then I'm going to ask you a question. Since you don't accept God as truth, then where then do you get your standard of truth from? How can you honestly get it? Where then do you get your truth? If you claim that I don't have a standard of truth, then you can't argue on what is true or not true. If you claim to have a standard and not have a standard at the same time, you are contradicting yourself. The question is asking, where then do you get your truth? You must provide what is your standard. Where do you get it from? Now, the next question. If you answered question 1 on where you get your standard, how can you tell that your standard is true at all times? That's going to be the next hardest part. And if you contradicted yourself just answering question number 1, if you are contradicting yourself, how then can you honestly say to yourself that what you speak of may or may not be true or not true, whichever the case? If you cannot answer if your standard is true at all times, how then can you say that your standard should be upheld above God? See, you can't. What I'm trying to say is, you can't have a standard of truth and not have a standard of truth. You got the questions. And I want you to concentrate and think hard on the questions. You deny that God is absolute truth. Where then do you get your truth? If you have a standard, show me where you get your standard and how you got it. And then you must show me that it is true at all times. If you cannot do either of them, then you can't honestly think that atheism is true or that you're speaking what is true. You can't say it is, because you have no reliable standard upon what is true and what is not true. Now, the next part is about reality. Atheists, you have a set of standards you have set for yourself. Being a very materialistic group, you got to be able to grab, test, analyze, see it, feel it, taste it, touch it, whatever you want to do. So only you can defend atheism with your standards. What can you show us that atheism is connected with reality? This also includes how everything came to be. With showing, can you also give reasons as to why or how atheism is connected with reality? This also includes how everything came to be and is. If you, an atheist, cannot show that atheism is connected with reality, how then can some of you say its default position? Because that would mean to imply that you wish something that is not connected with reality to be implied on reality or real world in order to support your non-reality position. So there you have it. You just have a few questions. Should be easy, right? Where do you get your truth from, atheist? What is your standard? Do you have a standard? Is your atheism connected with reality? In what ways can you show that it is connected with reality? Now remember, atheists have a set of standards. And I know from experience that atheists do go by the standard I just listed. It's got to be grabbed, got to be observed, got to be seen, probably got to be tasted, and all of them measured and all that. Now, if you choose not to go by them standards, then you're not an atheist. Because atheists are highly material people. I just want an atheist to answer honestly the questions that are provided in this video. Honesty. That means you can say, well, I really don't know. Or you can say, I don't know, man. I want honesty. That's all I want. I've pointed out what would happen if you tried to go another way, saying, I have a standard but no standard at the same time. Yeah. Law of non-contradiction says you're flat out contradicting yourself. Okay. So, again, you have questions. Where do you get your truth from? What is your standard of truth? Is your atheism connected with reality? And can you show it to be connected with reality? What? Maybe, I count four. Four questions, really. You know, two of them are summed up, you know, still questions. So, let's see what you atheists got. Show me. Convince me that you got what it takes. I'll find out.